Introducing Sonjia Pelton-Sam, the glam coach who will jumpstart your life and business success. She's an empowering force of education and coaching who gets visionaries into action. With style, class, and charisma, the glam coach brings energy and inspiration to any room as an in-demand speaker and powerhouse mentor. With her experience as an 11 times author, certified teacher, coach, talk show host, and digital product creator, she knows what it takes to monetize your products and maximize your potential to do something that matters. Launch your vision with the glam coach, Sonjia Pelton-Sam.
All right. Here we come. Hello, La-Zondra. If for those who don't know me, my name is Sonjia Pelton-Sam, also known as the Glam Coach, where I help you G, get up, L, love yourself, A, affirm your belief, and M, it's some things that you can make happen right now in your life and in your business with God by your side. So I have a guest with me today, La-Zondra, and honey, she's an attorney. She's going to give us a couple of tips. She's going to tell us things that we can do to shift and change our lives and keep our intellectual property safe. So, La-Zondra, tell them a little bit about yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is La-Zondra Randolph, and I am your kingdom jurispreneur. I combine my legal knowledge with entrepreneurial skills to build the kingdom of God. And so, along with me owning my own law firm, I own a beauty supply store, and which I am also in the process of building salon suites. So pray for me because it's a process.
Yes.
I'm also the founder of Love, Compassion, and Resolve Project, a 501c3 nonprofit, and sit on numerous boards and committees. And after the Her Experience conference, I'll also be a national speaker. Woo-hoo!
Woo! So tell us, La-Zondra, a little bit about your background. Like, how did you get started?
Well, I after I graduated from the best HBCU on earth, which is the Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University, I became a teacher, actually. And then after about 3 years of teaching, I decided to fulfill a dream since I've had about the age of 6 or 7 to go to law school. I went to law school, and then after I graduated law school, I was still working in education, believe it or not. Because I still loved it. I still loved kids and everything. And even at that school that I was at, I was offered promotions. So I became the director of the school and then executive director of the school. And each time I got promoted, I love the kids, but then I found out some things, how they say, the higher you go, the more you know. And I started to notice that the owner of the school did not really care for the students. The owner wanted the students dollars. Right. It wasn't about the students, but it was about the dollars that the students were bringing in. And I didn't like that. And so I've always been an advocate. So, of course, me advocating for the students, the owner didn't like it. And the owner eventually fired me. So, yeah. So here I was, a whole attorney out here, no job, collecting unemployment. And so I submitted resume after resume after resume to law firms, but no one would hire me. So I hired myself at the law offices of La-Zondra Randolph, PA.
Well, come on. That probably was part of God's plan anyway.
Definitely. He was trying to get me out. He was like, I didn't have you become an attorney to stay in education. That's not the plan. Get out.
That is good. We talked about it a little bit about something you have coming up with a salon. And it's crazy because I own a salon back in the day, the largest African-American salon in Fort Worth, Texas. Back in the day, I converted a Pizza Hut building into a beauty shop. So when you told me about your venture of what you were going to do, we're going to flip the script, y'all, because she got a couple things going on. Talk about this venture right quick with the salon suites.
So back in, I want to say 2018 or another, God gave us a vision. I had a business partner at the time, and God gave us a vision to open up a beauty supply store. And so we actually started small. We started selling bundles and things like that. And people were like, why don't you just open up a store? And so we kind of prayed about it, and we decided to open up the store a few years ago, actually. And it took us a while because when we started the business in 2018, we set on it. And you know how you got to come to, it's like, what are we going to do with this? What's going to happen? Are we going to move forward, or what are we going to do? So we finally decided, I believe it's like 2021, to open up the beauty supply store. And at that particular time, it's very hard, especially changing the mindset of our people, because they're used to going to the other cultures, right? Getting their supplies and things. And so just still trying to change the culture. And so while I'm doing that, another vision came to me and said, well, why don't you open up sweets? And I'm like, well, we just opened up the store, and I prayed about it. And at this point, we were in a bigger building. We were renting out a bigger building, and we were in the back. So we were hidden, and there's some other like salons and stylists and things in the building. So we were doing well because they were kind of purchasing their supplies from us. But no one knew we were there unless word of mouth, right? And so we prayed about it, and I said, well, I need to have more space, because where we were, we couldn't build the suites there. So a space became available in our building in the front. We had a storefront. I said, okay, Lord, I said, this is your will. Let us get this space in the front of this building. And at the time, the owner of the building said that someone else was looking at the space. And I said, well, Lord, if it's your will and it's supposed to be ours, that person wouldn't get it and we will have it. And that's exactly what happened. The owner called me back and said, this person's not going to get it. It's yours if you want it. I said, of course I want it. And so we ended up moving to the front of the building. So one side is actually the beauty supply store, and the other side, we're building the suites.
I love that. And I think today that we see a lot of collaborations, even with gas stations. I see one that has like Checkers hamburgers, and it has the Charlie's cheesesteak over by my house, and that's attached to a gas station. And I've seen one with like a Taco Bell attached to it. Even a lot of Walmarts and things like that. They're collaborating and putting other businesses inside, and it just really makes more sense to me.
Yes.
Like, yeah, you sell hair, you sell everything that the people need. When they leave, they stop by, get their bun and honey or whatever they need their hair, right? And it's a one-stop shop. So I just love that idea. Like that I believe that is a God idea. Anytime that we're working together to accomplish one goal and helping each other out, it's just totally amazing.
When you say a God idea, it definitely is, because it's larger than me. Trust me, this whole vision and thing is, I couldn't even imagine me doing this on my own. So it's definitely a God thing. Yeah.
So tell me this. So if money was no option, honey, and you could just do anything you wanted to do, what would that look like for you?
I'm a giver. That's just me by nature. Every occupation, everything that I've done, from education to law to nonprofit to church, everything I give myself and my time. And so if money was no issue, I would definitely put it behind mental health initiatives. I would put it behind drug counseling. I would put it behind mindset coaching, financial literacy initiatives, job career trainings, education, healthcare, and then I'll build houses for the homeless and the underserved. And I say all that to say that, if you give a man a fish, right, you hear the saying, you feed him for a day, but if you teach a man a fish, you feed him for a lifetime. So essentially, I don't want to just give houses to the homeless. I don't want to just give things to them, because if I just give it to them, they won't know how to maintain it. They don't know how to keep it, right? So I named all of those resources because I believe that we need to educate ourselves. We need to be, more financially stable, financially secure, mentally stable, because if we could touch on these deep-seated issues in our community, then once we start building, then we can actually keep it and maintain it. And I think they'll appreciate it more when they go through that process. But I definitely want to see our community grow and thrive. And that's why I do what I do. That's why I'm into law. That's why I build the suites, is to build generational wealth, is to put the money back into our communities.
Yes. What do you attribute your growth to? Like your overall growth? What do you attribute that to?
Life lessons. Life lessons. Although they are uncomfortable, they are necessary for growth. And I also would say faith. I attributed my growth to faith because, as they say, faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. And so I constantly fill myself with the word. I'm constantly in Bible study. I tell people all the time, is it on a Wednesday night? I can't go. I got Bible study. They'll tell you I'm missing the meeting because I got to be at Bible study. And the reason that is because my faith grows. As I hear the word of God, then my faith grows. And as my faith grows, then I grow. And that's how I feel like I've been growing in this season. It's a constant, change, right? You should not be the same. You should always seek to grow in different ways. And you always have to seek God as to what that growth looks like just for you.
Yes, I totally agree with you. Faith is like you're building your faith. It's kind of like a muscle that you build up. Once you stop, it stops. You work on building faith again, then hey, faith builds. So yes, I totally agree with you that we have times in our life that's all we can count on. Jesus is the faith, honey, that it's gonna all work itself.
Telling you. Right. Everything that I've done is basically a faith walk. I mean, from starting my law firm, that was a faith walk, right? Because I had it in my mind, I'm going to work for somebody for a couple years. I'll build my skill set and then I'll go out on my own. And you know what they say about your own plans, right? God, he laughs at them. So he had another plan for me. So just building my faith and stepping out and doing my firm, faith in stepping out and doing the salon suites, faith in the nonprofit, just everything is really faith, and I'm watching God do what God does best.
Yes. So who would you say had the biggest impact on your life? When you're looking at people, it could be celebrity, it could be your mom, it could be anybody that you say that just really impacted your life. It could be two people, but tell us about that.
I would say my mother really impacted my life. She's really been a backbone. She's really been, strong. My dad was murdered when I was 8 years old. And so, even in that time of grief and sorrow, and even having to now be a single parent, she stepped up to the plate. She made sure that I didn't miss a beat. Right. And she made sure that I was well-rounded. I tell people all the time, my mother had me in piano. She had me in dance. She had me in karate. She was the youth choir director in the church. And here I am singing solos and I couldn't even sing a bit, but I was there. Right. Because of her active involvement, she had me in everything. And that's why I'm well-rounded. And she wasn't like really strict. She did have boundaries. But she also let me hang. She let me hang with my friends. She let me hang in the hood, right? So I would walk the hood with my friends. And I'm grateful to her for that she wasn't strict, but she also, kept me grounded, because now I feel like I'm well-rounded. I can go anywhere. I can go to the hood and relate to people there. I won't stay there, but I'll relate to people there.
Right.
I can go to the Joneses, and have high tea. I can do all those different things. And it's because my mom made sure that whatever I do, that I will be well-rounded and I could relate to people, and, that I would never look down on people, and I can always, lift up. And so I attribute all of that to my mother.
I love that, because I think today that we live in a time where we try to shelter our kids a lot. And really, it doesn't matter how much you try to shelter your kids. You're just going to have to pray that God's around them, because they're going to be different places with different people, with different lifestyles. So I really love that, right? Because I'm like that too. I'm relatable. I can go all across the board with anybody, right? Because I think I appreciate everybody's culture and how everybody lives. So yes, I really agree with you on that.
Yeah, that's important.
It is. So let's talk about staying motivated, like all the different things you do. Because I understand, because I do a lot of different things. So from attorney to the beauty shop, right, to the salon, to the 501c3. How do you stay motivated in tough times?
So I stay motivated by praying, by reading, listening to, and repeating prophetic words over my life. This law and entrepreneurship thing, this life is not for the weak. Life is not for the weak, right? And if you're not careful, you will allow negativity and the enemy to spew lies to get you to quit. But if you continuously speak the word of God over your life, I believe in the prophetic. right? And
Mhm.
there were a lot of things that God told me in my quiet time with him and my prayer with him. And then he sent individuals to confirm those prophetic words. And in times when I feel like, Lord, I don't know what's happening, if I feel stressed, if I just can't see, anymore, I will go back to those prophetic words. I have videos, I have, notes. I go and listen to the prophetic words that were spoken over my life. I go and watch them. I go read them. I even, read the word of God. And the more and more I rehearse the prophetic words that were spoken over my life, then the more silent the enemy becomes.
Yes.
And so that's why I stay motivated, because now I can continue to see I know what the end is going to be, because it was already spoken over me. So no matter what's happening in front of me, no matter what trials or tribulations that I'm going through, no matter how I even feel in my emotions, I'm able to tame my emotions, because I'm able to tell my emotions, be quiet, because I know what the end is going to be. And that's how I motivate myself every day.
That's really good. So we're gonna go into staying balanced, but also we're gonna throw in there about a little bit about how do you plan, because everybody plans differently. I shameless plug. No, I actually have a planner called My Little Black Planner. It's like every girl needs a little black dress and a little black planner. And
I
so
like that.
planning, I think, is essential, right? We have our vision, we have our goals and things like that, but a lot of people fail to plan and take action. So let's talk about a little bit about balance in your life, how you stay balanced, but also a little bit about how you plan things out.
So, with me being an attorney, my schedule is all over the place, right? I have, client meetings and court and all those types of things. So I definitely have to plan it out. I have a calendar, and I have a calendar for everything, my personal. I have a calendar for my businesses. I have and that's what keeps me in line. And I always tell people my calendar is like the Bible. If it's not on it, it's not happening. Like literally, if it's not in my calendar, it's not happening. And so that's how I really keep up with everything. I mean, I put anything in my calendar. If I have to make a phone call, I put it in my calendar. If somebody owes me a phone call, I say so and so is going to call me at 2:00. I put everything in my calendar, because with so much that we have going on, I can't remember everything.
Right.
And sometimes we try to keep so much in our brains, and as visionaries, that's really hard to try to keep everything, in your head. So I write out everything. And I find that even though I write things out, sometimes my plans change as I write them out. But I stay balanced. I love to travel. If anybody tell you, about me, they'll say she's always gone. Like this week I'm going to Panama. So I'm always that's my outlet. Some people revert to, different things for their outlets, eating or what have you. I don't. Traveling is my thing. So whenever I start to feel overwhelmed and feel like I need a break from people, I travel. Going to church is how I stay, again, grounded and balanced, enjoying time with my family and friends. I love my family and friends. I could just sit and we could just watch TV. We could just talk and eat. That's what keeps me, happy, and taking naps.
Mhm.
I'm at an age now where I need to take naps. You hear me? And then also saying, I started saying no to certain things. I love people, and I'm always trying to support people. And so I was always going to this event, this party, this birthday, this, and I found myself in a place where I was overwhelmed, because there are things that, again, in my planning that I needed to get done, but I wasn't getting it done because I was too busy doing things in other places. So I had to kind of step back, and God had been dealing with me about it. And, those lunch dates that, meetings, I've been saying no to lunch meetings. No, I can't meet you now in the middle of the day, because I found that when I did that, my day was gone. If I'm meeting somebody at 12:00 and we don't leave about 2:30, now I'm probably coming back to the office or another errand. And by that time, the day is gone, and then I need a nap. See? so I found myself not being productive having lunch meetings all the time. So I really stopped doing a lot of lunch meetings and say, let's meet, for dinner or on the weekend or something like that. But definitely saying no now to a lot of things. I think I've gotten to the point where people trust me and know that I do love them and that I do support them. And now I have to take a step back and say, okay, I'll get back to you all in a minute, but let me focus on this. And that's why I'm starting to keep my balance.
No, I'm with you on that. There's some things now I might say, hey, I buy the ticket, but I can't say I'll show up. So we might have to donate a ticket. I might have to donate to the cause. But so, you're right. You really have to juggle and plan around and know, like, what am I to do right now? Is it gonna set me back later? Because that setback is real, and trying to catch
up. But it causes you also to be overwhelmed because you keep looking at your to-do list and you find that you're not crossing things off. And then, of course, things add on. So, I may have now another client who may come to me last minute and say, hey, I have a hearing coming up next month, or I have this. Now I'm having to add that on my calendar. So now I'm looking at everything and I'm overwhelmed at this point. So I think we just have to really focus and try to, again, make time for things, but put that in its proper place. And then there's a season for everything, right? We have to understand our season. There was a season where I was out and supporting and doing, and now it's my season to really sit and let God just be God and let him navigate me throughout this process. Because even what I'm going through right now with the salon suites, it's been a delay in opening the salon suites. It's been a long delay. Okay. And the delay has also caused, as financial, consequences behind the delay. But me having to really now sit down and refocus and let God recenter me. I know he has a plan. I know he's going to work it out. So I'm never worried about that. But it's more so, okay, I need you to bring it back and I need you to refocus. And that's the season that I'm in right now, is refocusing.
Look, I'm with you right now. I totally understand. I had a car accident and it threw me all the way off. So planning time in, like, I got this therapy, I got this doctor. So just actually trying to plan everything in, and then you still have to keep husband rolling, kids rolling, all the other things rolling with it. And knock out at the balancing act. I think I heard Jake say that. And you put one thing up and you put one thing down, right? Because you can't hold them all at the same time. So you just have to know how to balance it out, right? So everything can work together. So yeah, I'm definitely with you on that. So we're going to talk about planning a little bit more. Are you using a Google Calendar? Are we planning both in a Google Calendar or whatever kind of calendar, digital and plus on paper? Or do you do like me? I have those three, plus I have like a little sticky notes over here. Those are the reminders that I need to do this planner. Don't fall short because I need to do this person's landing page and this person have a workbook. And so I have a sticky note to make sure I don't fall off of that. And then I'm in.
I mainly use Google Calendar for everything. But when I'm actually planning out my day, outside of what's on my calendar, I'll get up in the morning and I'll actually sit and write out what I want to accomplish that day. And I'll try to give myself a time frame, and recognize, and also giving myself grace, right? Because sometimes we try to stay on this course of time, but then when we get thrown off, we get frazzled and just saying, you know what, I'm gonna give myself some grace. I'll put that on the schedule for tomorrow. And prioritizing, what's most important. I can go down a rabbit hole with things. I can get distracted and then go down a rabbit hole. I'm giving you an example. Like, I could have my day planned out. I can wake up in the morning and I'm going to handle this, and the third. And then somebody might call me. And then somebody might have an issue that they need me to resolve. And it's not on my plan today. It wasn't on my calendar. And now I'm trying to help them resolve their issue. And it's taking me down a rabbit hole because now I'm researching, I'm this, I'm that, I'm trying, and I'm like, wait a minute. I just spent now 2 hours going down this rabbit hole with you and you weren't even on my schedule, so I'm bad at doing things like that.
I totally
going down rabbit holes.
I totally have you. I look, I even have like a checklist. So in that plan, I have a checklist. And so it says different things, and it probably take 2 to 3 minutes to go through. Like, did I do this today, this today, this today? Did I take care of myself? And after you don't see those checks on taking care of yourself, checks on checking on the friends like you're supposed to, check. And like
Right.
within the year, it shows you like where you fell off, because it's like, oh, I ain't checked none of that. I got
No,
10
no.
checks for the year. Like, I was bad on just a little bit of taking care of myself, or doing this or doing that. And so once you do that, because like even on the trip, when you're in business, sometimes business follow you on trips.
Oh, no, I don't do
When
that
they follow
anymore.
you,
I
girl.
stopped that. So a couple years ago, I decided that I was not going to take my laptop on trips anymore, because I used to do that, right? I used to
Right.
go on trips, take my laptops, and then my friends would be like, "Oh, would you hurry up? Can you come on? We want to go to the beach. We leaving you, that type of thing." And I'm like, I gotta finish this one thing. I gotta, and I stopped doing that. And I've tried now to plan more around my trips. And I've also, you talk about collaboration. I'll reach out to other attorneys, and I'll say, I have of counsel now who works with me. I have a legal assistant as well. So I'll reach out to them and say, hey, I'm going to be gone for a while, so I need this to be handled out. If this comes up, I can call my, co-counsel and my of counsel and ask her to handle it. Or I'll call another attorney and say, hey, I'm not there. Can you take care of this for me? And it's about building relationships and collaboration. And that's because when I go out, I told you earlier, that's how I keep balance. So if I'm out of town and I'm, on vacation, I'm working, I'm not keeping balance. And I'm not now kind of, refocusing. So when I come back, I'm supposed to come back refreshed. I'm not supposed to come back with the same, burdens that I had when I left. No, I'm leaving all that stuff here. Just goodbye. And thankfully, nobody's burned the house down, or, no fires have gone up. Thank you, Lord, while I've been gone. But I have decided not to take work with me, because God gives us time, and he gives us rest, right? And there are so many people who are who are dying early because of stress, just being overwhelmed every day, and they're letting their jobs just control their lives. And I don't want to live like that. As I ask God to supply all my needs according to your riches and glory in Christ Jesus. As long as my needs are supplied, I don't have to do all this extra. I just want peace. I want peace. And I want to not have to stress myself out day in and day out, trying to, in this hamster wheel. That's not life. That's not living. I don't want to drop dead at 50. I don't want to do that. So we have to put things in perspective. And we have to set boundaries. We do have to tell people, like, again, going back to, no, I can't do that. I'll do it later, or right now it's time for me. And if people don't understand that, you're bad. I'm I don't know what else to tell you. Yeah, because they would do it. They would say, no, I can't do it right now. So, you shouldn't be upset with me for setting my boundaries.
Yes. Look, I totally agree with you on that. I remember having the beauty shop, and it's like the plumbing. I'm like, the plumbing, and they calling me like, what do? We don't know. I'm like, oh my God. So I know what you're saying. When it comes to that, it can be, just business. Business is just one of those whole other lifestyles that you have to put in order. So I really love how you do that. So what's next for you?
Just watching God lead me in this kingdom jurispruneur journey. I just kind of got into this whole kingdom jurispruneur thing. That's something that God birthed in me just recently. And that's just me becoming a national and international brand. The steps of me getting there, of course, remain to be seen, but I know that I'm still going to be helping people build and maintain kingdom businesses. That's really the focus, is making sure that I help people build and maintain, kingdom business. And whether that's with, the intellectual property that I've just gotten into, small business formation, even, I'm not a business coach and don't, proclaim to be, but I have an open ear. If you want to talk to me about, how to make it work and how to juggle things, and I'm there to kind of talk you through those things, but making sure that I use my experiences and biblical principles to do that. So I'm all about building kingdom business. So that's what God has revealed to me thus far. He doesn't give us the big picture all the time. He kind of gives us small steps and say, okay, you do this and then I'll give you the next step. You do this, I'll give you the next step. And that's basically what I'm doing. I'm just kind of walking, slow walking into what he's shown me doing. And that's my ministry, right? The marketplace is my ministry. So just walking in that and seeing where it takes me.
I love it. So you have something coming up with the herpreneurs.
Yes.
And I want you to just give them a quick, maybe 1 minute, 2 minutes, like what to expect when La-Zondra, honey, comes on and hits that stage. Like, tell them what they're going to get.
They're going to get the real. They're going to get all of this stuff that I'm going through, right? All the process, all the, the trials, the tribulations, the things that we all go through. But they're also going to get the motivation of how to keep going, how to maneuver, how to lean on their faith and doing things, how to, as we discussed, how to say no and be okay with it. I mean, they're going to get all these little nuggets because I believe that a lot of times, we don't want to go through things because it's uncomfortable. We don't want to, this is uncomfortable. This is new. I don't want to kind of step out on this. And I've learned to embrace being uncomfortable. I've learned to embrace it because now that I have this platform to speak, if I didn't have experiences of being uncomfortable, if I didn't have experiences of, having these multiple businesses and going through the stress of them, if I didn't have the experiences of seeing God do things even in the midst of it, if I didn't have the experience of, even though it has not happened yet, I still see it, even though I don't see it, if I didn't go through these things, I would not be able to get now on the platform and speak about them. So I want to be able to speak on my experiences, my testimonies, and be able to encourage those who may be going through the same things. And, I know that we're going to have all types of women there on different levels. Some just starting probably business. Some have, multiple businesses. Some are just trying to figure things out. And, we can all learn from each other. And it's just my prayer that God will give me the words to say to encourage anybody who's in attendance and speaking into their situation to keep going and give and hopefully give them some answers to the questions they may have been asking. So that's my goal, is to do what thus said the Lord and to be able to speak and encourage people in the audience.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So, y'all, when La-Zondra hits the stage, I want you to know you're going to be encouraged. You're going to be inspired. You're going to shift to the next level. I heard today it's the dimension. Sometimes it's the next dimension. Levels mean you got to walk. And levels mean I'm walking. I got to walk up to something. Dimension mean you can step into it. That was church today.
Listen.
Look here. But yeah, that next dimension is right there waiting for you. So I want y'all to make sure that you follow La-Zondra. La-Zondra, tell our audience how to get in touch with you. If you have any offers for them, let them know right now, because I'm excited about seeing you. So go ahead and let the audience know.
Yes. So before I do that, I just want to encourage everyone to keep going, to not give up. And one thing I want to touch on really quickly is make sure that of your connections, right? Making sure that if you're building a business, if you have business partners, whether or not, it's personal life, it's somebody that you're dating, right? Or just friends, you have to really make sure that you are discerning your connections. Be careful who you're connected to, because a lot of times we don't know the spirit that we're dealing with. whoever you're connected to, that spirit is supposed to pray for you. You're supposed to have peace, right? And also, you may not have the same faith as your business partner or your friend or whomever. You may not have the same faith, but they have to have faith, because it's real exhausting when you're being stretched in your own faith and having to carry the burden of someone else who has little or no faith. So I just want to give that advice, to say keep going. But so you can catch me. I have a website. My website is LaZondraCherie.com. That's LaZondra, LaZondraCherie.com. And that page will give you access to all my other pages. So it'll give you access to my LCR legal page. It'll give you access to my Love, Compassion, and Resolve project page. So it will give you access to all of those other pages. LaZondraCherie.com.
All right. So we want to thank La-Zondra for coming on today. She dropped some really good nuggets that we can all use. This is Sonjia Pelton-Sam, also known as the Glam Coach, y'all. You know that you can G, get up, L, love yourself, A, affirm your belief, and M is things that you can make happen right now in your life and in your business. With who? With God by your side. You can get in touch with me. Go ahead to www.theglamcoach.com. If you head over to the glamcoach.com, I got freebies all over there for you. And I have that Apple app, Launch Your Vision, like you're launching to the next level, Launch Your Vision, 21 days to change your life. And so we will see you later, everybody, signing off and saying bye-bye.
Goodbye.